I guess I'm live. Greetings, everybody. This is Harvey speaking. I guess, well, today's July 29th. No, my clock's wrong. I forgot. Hey, if you know my old videos, my clock is still 2 days behind. Today's actually July 31st, 2018. I guess I first want to apologize because I am literally sitting on a ton of information about the event, but I'm not authorized to share any of it with you because it's current information and things that are to come. And if you were to be here in person in my living room, I could tell you, but it's not to be spoken out loud in public. It's not to be spoken over the telephone, texting, nothing like that. About the only permission I got is if you were sitting in my living room right now, I could tell you, not that you'd understand it. I didn't think about that. You may not even understand it because it's a very high level. We're talking infinite dimensions. It's just way out there kind of stuff. But anyway, I will share this with you. I guess the disclaimer, I can't speak for every, this stupid fan keeps blowing my hair up, sorry. I can't speak for every single person out there, but I can say, for example, if you were to have a session with me, I'm a QHHT, Quantum Healing Hypnosis. Oh, excuse me, I'm really tired today. I'm a QHHT, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique Level 2 practitioner. And, if you're at a session with me, then you could easily find out about the event in great detail and what your purpose is, why you're here, where you're going to be going, basically anything you want to know, you can find out in these sessions. I guess I should touch on real quick here, QHHT, unfortunately, we are not authorized to do it remotely. It can only be done in person. And some of you may be in an area where you have to hop on an airplane, go somewhere, or even if there's a local guide down the street. Not everybody has, like in my area, it's anywhere from $250 to $300 is the going rate in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for a session. Other parts of the country, I think the lowest I ever saw was $150 out in the sticks somewhere. So, I understand some people don't have two pennies to rub together. I don't want you folks to be excluded. The other thing is QHHT does involve past life regression, where you basically need to believe in past lives, and that excludes over half the world, because over half the world they're either Christian, Islam, or the Jewish faith, and those faiths do not believe in reincarnation. So those three faiths alone, half the world's left out of QHHT. They're not going to do that because they don't believe in past life. And then the other folks that are left over, only about 20% of the world follows a religion that believes in reincarnation. Specifically, India is the big one. They got several, like 4 different religions in India believe in it, and etc. And then the folks that are left over, a lot of people just don't believe in past lives. It just doesn't seem to be a popular belief. I could be wrong. But anyway, so QHHT unfortunately excludes a lot of people just because of the past life regression part of it, and also because of the money issue. And then some people, like I've had people call me that are in a country that literally there's not one single practitioner in their entire country. I've had people call me from countries where there's only one practitioner in the entire country, and they just didn't have that, they didn't jive, they didn't have that kumbaya feeling with the practitioner, and didn't want to have a session with that practitioner. So that means they have to hop on an airplane, get a passport, and fly to another country. And so there begins to be some issues with doing things in person. So I just want to let everybody know, Dolores Cannon said just because you become a QHHT practitioner, you're still allowed to do we call them modalities, the spiritual healing and gifts you've been doing all along, or, if you're a lawyer, you don't have to stop being a lawyer. You're allowed to continue doing what you've always done. Dolores allows us, your life doesn't end because you're a QHHT practitioner. And she also said you can continue on, doing whatever you want. She just doesn't want modalities to be mixed. For example, if you're a Reiki master, she doesn't want a person to do, she doesn't want a practitioner to do Reiki on a person and then do a QHHT session the same day. It would have to be 2 different days. So there's quite a few rules with QHHT. But anyway, my point is, I have a technique. I don't advertise it a whole lot, but it's called Soul Harmonics, which is the name of my company and my website, which is www.soulharmonics.net. And that doesn't involve any past life regression at all. None. No, we don't go in any past lives. And it's not QHHT at all. I don't follow that. It doesn't follow that format. Again, I developed this technique before, I will say before, I became a QHHT practitioner. But now that I'm a certified, you know, they're so funny on the words, hypnotherapy practitioner, I'll say that. You know, I've been able to use those techniques to enhance my soul harmonics technique. So basically what it is I just take you, oh, by the way, normally I charge, the full price is $198, but I'm gonna do it for $99. So I can drop that price all the way down to $99. And basically, and I can pretty much guarantee the results. I've never had a problem. QHHT, yes, sometimes people can't be hypnotized. Oh, there's YouTube sending, oh, anyway. But anyway, I feel like I'm starting to ramble now. So basically what Soul Harmonics is, and I made a video on this earlier. If you like visualizations, I'll dig that up a little bit here and give you the link in the description, where I have pretty pictures and I visualize and talk about everything I'm about to describe. But basically, I take you into a very relaxed meditative state. And before the session even begins, my higher self goes out into the universe and finds your higher self, and they have a conversation about what we're going to be doing that day. And the higher self will go out and create what I call the meeting room. And the meeting room is like, if you want to think in human words, it's really, really far away. So basically, the meeting room is set up, and it's like a room, and then, you know, the higher self, there's a tunnel, you can call it a wormhole, vortex, whatever you want to call it. A wormhole is made from the meeting room. The higher self goes down to the client and establishes a connection. I follow them, and then I break off to where I am, because this is being done remotely. It can be done in person, but I'm describing how it's done remotely. So when it's done remotely, so then we're in 2 different spots, and there's like a tunnel that meets, and then we go up, and then we go way out there. So then I take you into a relaxed state. You can think of it as guided meditation, whatever you want to think of it. Has lots of words, and at the right time, I ask you to basically, I don't want to go into all the details, but I ask you to look up and basically see your higher self. And people always do, because the higher selves are dying. Your higher self, I shouldn't say dying. Your higher self wants to meet you, and for you to acknowledge, you know, in the waking state, the conscious mind, your higher selves just love the opportunity for you to be able to look up and see them, and they reach their hand down, you reach your hand up, and the higher self yanks you, of course with your permission, yanks you through the tunnel to the meeting room. And then my higher self follows both you, and my soul follow you, because I have the ability, I can astral project consciously when I'm awake. I can remote view. I could literally be on the moon right now, looking at the moon, and I could be describing to you everything going on the moon right now, right here on YouTube live while I talk. I have that ability. And so we get to the meeting room, and then we meet your soul family. Your soul family is there, so it's a big reunion, and clients love it. They have smiles on their faces, they have tears of joy, and it's just hey, Fifth World, it's just a wonderful, truly wonderful experience. I mean, that alone, that one moment alone is worth a whole session. I mean, that to me is priceless, but that's just the beginning. So then once we make, you know, you get real comfortable, you feel safe, and, you know, kumbayas, as I like to say. And then with your permission, right, we ask the higher self to come back down the, you know, the tunnel, wormhole, whatever you want to call it. And once you agree, sometimes it might take a little bit, sometimes it's quick, you know, we pace it correctly. So then the higher self comes down the wormhole, I go down the wormhole, and my soul's up there too, in case I left that out. So the 3 of us come back down the wormhole, we go to your physical location on Earth, and I watch the higher self get integrated into the body. I can actually see, I know it sounds crazy, but I can see these things. And I have tons of validation. I'm not cuckoo crazy making this up. So I literally see the higher self being integrated into the body, and then eventually the higher self can take over the vocal cords. And then when I can see and feel that happening, and then at that moment, I just simply ask, can I speak to your higher self? Easy peasy. And sometimes the higher selves have a little bit of an issue, so I can assist as well. My higher self is there, my soul's there. So if they're having a hard time getting grab a hold of the vocal cords or speaking, we can assist, but eventually we get contact. So now we're in the session and we're talking with your higher self, and I do what I call the soul harmonics technique, where we do a complete overhaul on your body. We start with the with the pineal gland. Basically, I form another tunnel. My higher self forms a tunnel that goes directly to True Source God Creator. So now you're connected to the meeting room. Now we create another tunnel going directly to True Source God Creator. And then I pull down balls of energy. Well, I ask God to send down balls, huge, massive balls of energy. Come down the wormhole, and the first one we lock onto your pineal gland and get it in there. And then we decalcify your pineal gland, however you say that. Get everything going, rejuvenated back to the way it's supposed to originally be. And then we work on the brain, getting all the neurotransmitters, everything firing. A lot of folks have a problem with this part of the brain, though. The primitive brain, oh my gosh, that's a nightmare. I shouldn't have said that, sorry. It's an issue. So then we bring down another, we ask God to bring down another ball of energy and have it land right in there and rejuvenate that. So we get everything, up here completely connected and turned on. And then next we work on the heart. I'm not supposed to say what issues we have with the heart. The heart has some interesting things that we need to do. So then we work on the heart. Another ball of energy comes down in the heart. And then from there, I ask the higher self if it can read the DNA of the body. It's kind of 50-50. Half the time the higher self can, half the time the higher self can't. But it's okay if they can't, because I can. Remember, I'm astral projecting. I'm remote viewing. I'm right there. My higher self is there. So then with the permission, if they can't see it, or if they can see it, we just simply say, give me a report. Everybody's used to that, they call it the double strand, double helix DNA. But in reality, you may have heard, we're actually supposed to have 12. You may have heard that we have all this junk DNA where the DNA is cut. So if, the higher self can give a reading, or I begin to assist, the bottom line is we begin to heal the DNA, and then I ask the higher self, what is the highest DNA strand that this biological unit can handle? Because if you're just hanging out with a triple strand DNA helix, you're probably not going to be ready for 12-strand DNA. So we take we're very cautious. This is probably the most cautious part of the session, where I have to be really on my A game, paying attention, listening to higher self, paying attention to that person's higher self, making sure we're all in sync, and we're all on the same page. And we have, some people like angels. I have angels I can call up. I have a whole legion of angels that I can call upon. So there's always a lot of help. The universe is there. You have your angels, your guides, your whole team's there. I mean, the universe is there. So it's just not you and me hanging out. No, the universe is there. And I can't say the word healing because I'm not in the United States of America, you have to have a medical degree. You have to be a licensed doctor say that you heal. So I can't say I heal, but it's very healing, I guess I'll say. So then, and then the next thing we do is we do all the energy blockages, and I'm probably babbling on way too much, but anyway, we get everything good, and then we do, it depends when we do the nervous system. We will work on the nervous system, the circulatory system, all the blood, the cells in the body. We go through the whole body. Just simply we go through the whole body. We go through it physically, we go through it spiritually, we go through it astrally. You do have an astral body, so we work on everything. Some people have what you call attachments or possessions. We scan for that, we work on that. Some people have ET, alien attachments. I've worked with implants, yes, I've removed alien implants as well. So we don't just look at the body once, it's kind of like, can you do an x-ray, can you do a PET scan, can you do an MRI, now we got to do some lab work, it really is like spiritual surgery. I think of it as like a spiritual hospital, really. So we get, and then we work on what you came for, your crying pains, as we call it, your crying pains and sufferings. So then we focus on that. doing other scans. And so I think you're getting the idea. So then after that, believe it or not, there's time left over. Hey, Miss Felisa and Kalo89, how's it going? And so then there is time left over for the client to have, easily we can get through 10 questions. If they're related, I can zip through 10 questions like that. So I'm talking about very completely different 10 questions we can easily go through. If the questions are related, I can get through 20 questions. So then you come with a list of questions that you want answered, your life's burning questions. And as long as you are allowed to know the answer, you will get the answer. There are times, and it happens in almost probably 75% of my sessions, where the person has asked a question where the higher self basically says, we cannot divulge that information at this time. For some clients actually know my higher self. That's kind of rare. Probably about 30% of my clients know my higher self. And in those cases, the client's higher self will connect to my higher self, and then we're basically just quiet hanging out, and my higher self will give your client's higher self a direct download. In case you don't know, my higher self's, 1 of 15. When I say harmonizer of the universe, there's a lot of harmonizers, but it's lack of better words. My higher self's kind of like a top. He's way up there in the food chain. Okay, so that's how I can do all these things as well, because I tap into not only my soul, but I tap into my higher self. So I think that's a pretty good rung deal. So anyway, back to the point. Wow, Candy, let us know what happens. Oh, I missed what Candy said. Anyway, so the good news. That's implant. Anyway, sorry, I should get back on focus. So again, I can't speak for every single soul out there, but I believe this is a good message, meaning accurate for the majority of the volunteers, if not all. Like, this could be true for all volunteers. I was having the same issue. Basically, being a volunteer, a lot of us volunteers are feeling like we are going to be here to the very end, and that we're going to be stuck in this three-dimensional, Earth, dealing with all the issues that are left over because the Earth is going to split. And then everybody else has their kumbaya, and they all go to 5D, and they're having a wonderful time. A lot of us volunteers are feeling that way. I just want to let you know, the same thing happened to me, and I found out through sessions that it's the enemy telling you that. It's the enemy tricking you, leading you to believe that you're going to be stuck here with them. So it's the enemy tricking you into letting you think that you're going to be stuck here with them. And while everybody else, after you've done all this wonderful work, after you've healed everything and helped create this ascension event and everything, yeah, I can do soul homage remotely story. And, and then we're going to kind of just be left behind in the dust, and then that triggers all kinds of human emotions and kind of makes your mind go a little cuckoo. The woe is me and the entitlement, and I could go into all these human emotions that start to pop up. So I'm just letting you know, I know it's true for many of you. Hopefully it's true for all of you. If you're a volunteer, if you feel like you're going to be stuck here with all the folks that are left behind, you're not. That's a trick. What's actually going to happen is you are going to ascend to the 5D Earth with everyone else. But because you're a volunteer, in general, you're a much more advanced soul. As I say, you're higher up on the echelon. I don't want to call people, other souls, common folk, but everybody's created for a different purpose, different reasons. We're all here for different things. So if you came here as a volunteer, odds are it's because you are, higher up on the food chain. So you have more abilities than the other folks. So you can go to 5D Earth and you can help those folks and help get that reality going. And at the same time, you can have what we call a hollow person or an NPC. Basically, this body can stay here in its present form without a soul per se. That's why I call it a hollow person, NPC, non-player character. And it can stay and continue, living your life and eating food and this and that. And then from the 5D Earth, because there is no such thing as time. So you can literally pop in here, do what you got to do as the human that got left behind, and pop out and just be here for a little bit to accomplish a mission. And you can be gone for a while, and then you can pop back like a second after you left and continue a mission. Or you can, pop back, a month later. So you have the ability to pop back and forth into this, lack of better words, I don't know how to describe these higher dimensional concepts in a way that a human being can understand it. I'm doing the best I can, you know. So I apologize if you don't like the idea of your body being on this hollow person, non-player character cruising around, and then then you pop in and you pop out. So you will still, as a volunteer, be able to complete your mission, helping the folks that were left behind. It's not a problem, because again, here is going to be a completely different situation as well. There will be an event here. It's just not, yeah, avatars. Thank you. That's a good word. It's just not everyone is going to go. They're not going to be ready, and they're, it's my understanding, quite a few folks are going to be left behind. All right. So I'm starting to think about. All right, now I'm going to tread on what do you call it? I'm treading on light. I can't even say the word. I'm about to go into a bunch of whole stuff about the event that I'm not authorized to tell you. Oh, it's so complicated. It's just so. I mean, you folks have no idea. No clue. And I've listened to all the YouTube channels. I've listened to other practitioners. They've done a good job of explaining it on a kindergartner level, but because of who I am, my understanding of my higher self and our involvements, and the clients that come to me tend to be, highly evolved souls, and they have very high, top echelon higher selves. So the information I get is a lot better. It's much more detailed, and it actually makes more sense to me. The higher level stuff, the more complicated stuff, if that makes any sense. But my hat's off. I love everybody out there on YouTube. Because I'm not the only. I've said this before. I'm not the only one out there working on this project. I can't believe people accuse me of that. Like, oh, Harmon, you say you're the only one. Really? No, there's billions. When this little energetic dome above us gets taken down, you are going to see all the stuff up there. You're going to see how many folks are working on this project. It's phenomenal. I mean, if you can astral project, if you can remote view, if you can go up there and get a peek right now, you're going to be blown away. I mean, I'm serious. Oh, that's another point. So I have clients that come to me. They just want to astral project. That's all they want. I had one client, he just really wanted, or that was a girl, she wanted to really know if we're on a flat earth or a dome or a globe, or what is this construct. So she astral viewed it and got to see it. Another client wanted to see the earth being born and formed, and how did that all happen. She got to see it, and I got to see it too, because I see everything my clients see. I had a client that wanted to go to the new earth. The client's higher self said, no, I'm not going to take you there, basically because it's so wonderful and it's so heavenly that would be all of my clients' focus after that, and it would diminish what they're supposed to be doing right now here in this life. So the higher self declined that request. Instead, we went to Agartha. Oh my gosh, if you knew what was going on in Agartha right now, wow. I am authorized to tell you about Agartha, but I've been here for 24 minutes and I want to get going. But yeah, I just don't like talking about Agartha because I was there in a long time ago, and enough of that. I don't think I've ever told. Now, I've never talked about Agartha on YouTube. I can go into great detail. All kinds of detail about Agartha, how they live their lives, what they do, and the technologies, and this. Oh my gosh, I can tell you all about Agartha. It's a cool place. All right, what else do I need to say? All right. So, just to summarize, QHHT must be done in person. I apologize, but I developed the soul harmonics technique before I became a practitioner, so I've been doing that even longer. So I'm going to drop that price down to $99. Now, if you are someone, you know, I don't want to exclude anybody. So if you are out there, if you like, if you know, if you're on disability and you know you're a lot of pain, or God forbid you're, you know, suicidal. You know, there's so just, you know, if you're having a really hard time in life, of course that's everybody. But if you're having a really, really hard time in life and you have absolutely no money, send me an email, and I'll work with you. I do. I'll just say it. I do sessions for free for those folks. I'm working with one client right now who is on her deathbed, literally. Like, she should be dead right now. I've done 3 sessions with her. You know, the focus is healing. We keep going in, and because after we heal, then other things come up because her medical issue is so advanced. The second we heal one area, then we got to go back in and heal another area, and it's kind of hard to do all at once because, you know, we have to be careful. You know, we don't want to try to help somebody and over heal them and have their body go into shock. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of communication going on. So I don't do this alone, is the bottom line. All right, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the shift. I'm not. I'm really tired. Here, I'll end up with something crazy. I bounce around realities all over the place, people. And because I see QHHT people, or they come to me, or I do this whole soul harmonics thing, I'm not always in the same reality as my client. So either I have to move or my client has to move, and it's usually me. So I had a session last night, and I had to go to their reality. But actually, she kind of met me in the middle. But I'm consciously moving between these dimensions, which if you've been following my channel for a while, you can, if you know how. You can consciously move between realities. You can. And so I do, but it's exhausting. It wipes the body out. So anyway, I'm pretty tired right now. But yeah, we had a pretty good shift. All kinds of weird new Mandela effects. Geography's, my gosh, geography went cuckoo again. You're welcome, JD. JD's saying thank you for what you do. Yes, draining. Hey, Candy. All right, everybody. Well, I hope y'all doing well out there. And until next time, everyone, God bless, peace, and be well.